All right, we're back and it's Monday. We're talking World Cup, the Travelers Championship, the Fenway Fiasco is what Fred's calling it. Love after lockup in Detroit. Is that going to be a thing? And let's roll. Freddie, what's going on, buddy? How you been?
Good, good. It's a special edition today of It's Monday, y'all. It's Bring Your Kids to Work Day.
That's what I heard. I heard you are you have some visitors there. Two
Yeah,
12-year-old girls with Jersey Fred for an entire month.
yeah.
Yeah. And while we're off
Wish me
camera,
luck.
yeah, luck for sure. Well, look, we got them running in the background and everything.
One
I
just
love it.
ran away.
Yeah. Well, I told them to, I got a little dose of this off camera. They're ready.
Yeah,
They think they can just go to the coffee shop on their own at 12 years old in downtown San Diego.
yeah.
Now, might as
That's
well
what's
give
wrong.
them a cigarette and a beer too while they're on their way.
Yeah,
My goodness. You got your hands full, my friend.
we're going to the beach today.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it. Tuning in, hit like, hit subscribe. Freddie, obviously in the area that I know well is where you're at. World Cup's huge over there. World Cup is
huge.
huge. So
Yeah,
I was upset because I left.
the day
I
before
well,
Mexico played, or
no,
no,
I left that day,
that morning. Yes,
that
it was
morning, and it was at
wild down here.
6.
Yeah.
So and they
Um.
won.
Yes, they did. It was pretty crazy around here. I was just watching videos and stuff, or like going watching some live stuff. Gas lamp was pretty nutty, but yeah, all over. So it'll
Yeah,
be interesting to see, like, knockout stage now. Maybe we'll go down and watch a game somewhere or something. I don't know.
so
It's just been really crazy and packed.
Who does Mexico play in the first round?
I
So they
think
play
Portugal
Ecuador.
or
Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Yep, Ecuador. And then were you all concerned in regards to us losing to Turkey in the final minutes? Is that a concern of yours?
No, I don't think it's a big deal. It was a throwaway game. I mean, it would have been nice to win. I feel like nobody feels like, oh, they're concerned because they had already won the group, but it's just not a good look. And the momentum too. I mean, you got to keep the momentum up. Now, moving forward with the brackets, they got a decent draw. I think they beat Bosnia in that first knockout stage, and then after that, I think I
So
may have them.
it's the
Was that?
winner of Belgium and Senegal is who they play
Yeah.
next.
So, I think they could win that game as well.
Yeah. I don't see them being in a very hard bracket,
No.
so to speak. I mean, Portugal,
Well, they
Croatia, Spain, Austria. So we could see Spain in the quarters.
if they beat Belgium, they play Spain, and then that would be an amazing run for them.
Right, right. So we have Portugal, Croatia. You would assume Spain's going to come out of that, and then
Yeah.
we would play Spain if everything works
Yeah.
out the way we want it to. But who knows? I mean, Croatia's a
Yeah.
solid team. Portugal's a solid team. I
Yeah,
don't
I
see
mean,
Austria
Bosnia is
putting
gonna
up a
be a
big
tough
fight.
game, I think, to be honest. I just think they win that game.
Looking forward to it. It's the vibe. It's different. I think it's just different here than it is where you're at. You have a melting pot of different
Yeah.
cultures there, which is super cool. I mean, I remember we were in Little Italy on Sunday, I believe, and everybody was watching the Argentina game, like posted
Yeah.
up at the
Yeah.
bar on the street.
I
Like,
mean, there's watch parties all the games all over here. So it's pretty cool. I think that Times Square is pretty crazy, dude. That is
right?
just wild. If you have you seen those videos?
No, I'm gonna look them up now that you said that.
Oh my
No,
god. So they're playing the games in Times Square and it's like it gets taken over by that country's fans. It's wild.
that is
Um
so cool.
So it's pretty cool. And yeah, and outside of these stadiums, Boston, New York, Dallas, LA, it's been really crazy.
Well, it's also pretty cool when I was coming to San Diego in the airport, you were
Yeah.
seeing a lot of families, a lot of people knowing they were heading to a World Cup game, right? Obviously, maybe flying to California or flying somewhere,
Yeah.
but it was crazy
Irvine,
with young kids.
they're playing in SoFi and they're playing in Irvine. So I told you my buddy is working in the game up in Irvine. He's heading back today because its group is over. We were gonna try to link up Saturday. He didn't know what his schedule was like. I couldn't really link up, or Friday maybe was his only like free day or half a
Right.
day. It's
So
like 2
where
hours.
where exactly is Irvine? It's 2 hours
It's
away?
right next to Pasadena.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So it
Uh,
would be like 2 hours away. He was like trying to figure a place to meet halfway and stuff, but he has a lot like, he's busy. Like,
for sure.
so
For sure.
so
The
like
other
we didn't
thing
link up.
Yeah, the other thing that's interesting too is the people from outside of the country, our country here, coming and visiting for the first
Yeah.
time. And we're catching some crazy stories. And one of them I wanted to bring up to you is, did you by chance catch the one where the Japanese guy
Yeah.
realizes that he gets free chips at the Mexican restaurant?
Yeah. He's been going around, and he had, I think he had, maybe he was in Dallas for one of them because he had barbecue
Okay.
for like the
I
first.
saw that. I saw that one. I wonder, it's the same
Yeah.
guy?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, he's been trying all this shit and going crazy. He's awesome. Yeah, I feel like, to be honest, like, the vibe that I see in all these videos is, like, everyone's having a blast.
100%.
Like, the first week that Scotland got to Boston, two of the bars ran out of beer.
Yeah,
Like, Europeans drink a little bit different than us.
for sure.
And the fact that they're on vacation too. So,
Right.
I mean,
It's a perfect
it's
storm.
just like, yeah. So it was wild out there in Boston, man, when they were like all walking down the street, bagpipes, like it was just fucking wild.
Well, and it's also like a cultural difference too. Like going back to the Japanese guy, he's saying like, look, if I get something for free or as a gift, like eating half of it is disrespectful. So like he
Yeah,
kept eating. He ended up going through 3 baskets of chips, and he's the guy who referred him. Like his buddy was like, "Hey, enjoy yourself, but don't fill up on the chips." And now he's like,
yeah,
I get what he's saying. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's wild. But
Yeah,
I
it
have
must
to
be
say,
a culture shock on one side, but on the other side, I feel like I said, there's not many videos of people complaining about anything.
right. No, I haven't come across anything. Everyone seems
Yeah.
to be having a good time. I'll tell you who's not having a good time, and this is probably my favorite story that I caught, and I've picked it out this morning, is Uruguay's team and their coaches. The country of Uruguay canceled the team flight coming home because they didn't win a game. Can you imagine if something like that happened to an American team?
No, I mean, it wouldn't, but it's more of, it's a bigger deal in those countries.
Yep, yep. Well,
Like,
and just the way they treat him, it's just like, "Hey, guys, you couldn't perform. We're not paying for you to come home." They're
yeah,
like, "You're on your own. You're flying commercial."
commercial.
I mean, even the
Yeah,
coach,
yes. I think it's
which
awesome. I love that just because it shows how important this is to these countries.
for
Like
sure.
I said, US loses and stuff, and no dust gets kicked up. It is what it is. But these other countries, man, I mean, death threats. I mean, it gets crazy.
Right. It is wild. And I do think that the Americans should be treated this way. Like, look, guys, you're on your own. You couldn't perform. There's a lot of
Yeah.
sports like that. I'm sure a lot of NFL teams would be like, you know what? You guys got 50 hung up on you. Why don't you figure out your way home? We're not helping you out.
I mean, it would be hilarious if like one organization flies charter there, and then you get charter home if you win.
Yeah, absolutely. The Browns would always be taking some sort of Greyhound bus home or something, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but that would be
but I
awesome.
thought it was interesting. I am definitely going to look up more New York
Who do you
videos
have
to
in the
see.
final?
That's where I was looking at. Like, it's going to be tough because I was looking at the both sides of the bracket. I would love to say us. I have to say it maybe Spain, and then would be on the other side would be Argentina. I think Messi is on a roll right now, which is insane to watch what he's doing at 38 years old. And we talked about it last week when we were both together. Ronaldo's performance with Portugal, like he's struggling, man. He's showing his age. I think he's 42.
Yeah, they're around there.
And I
Yeah,
mean, he had a free kick or a penalty kick, one of the ones, and he kicked it. It literally just went right to the goalie.
yeah,
So
yeah. I think I just don't think that Argentina. I mean, I would never count out Messi, but
right.
I have Colombia ending up beating Argentina. I think it's in the second, maybe knockout. And I have Colombia in the final against Spain, with Spain winning.
Okay. Colombia, you say? Yeah, because
Well,
they would play
Colombia
them
was
in
my
the
dark horse.
six. So they
When
would
we
be in the
had
final six when they played.
when we had our when we talked about the World Cup before it started, I said Colombia was my dark horse. So I think they're playing well. We'll see.
Yeah. And don't count Mexico out. Mexico's doing well.
No,
Japan is decent. I think the other side of the bracket, when I'm looking at it, seems to be a little tougher. They have Brazil, Japan, Mexico, England, so-so, Argentina, to your point, Colombia. I think this is a stronger bracket on the other side of ours.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, Canada won yesterday in the first game of the knockout. So, they're a good team too. I would never count out Germany, France, England. Like obviously the three teams you don't want winning.
Let me ask you this, as far as the Canadian team. Do you think that the Canadian soccer players are guys who just couldn't make it in hockey?
Probably.
I mean, they got
Yeah.
to, right?
Yeah, because I don't know why they would be playing soccer.
100%. I think that
Yeah.
90% of them were just like, I can't really skate that well. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But it's going to be interesting. We're going to follow it the entire time, and we'll see. We'll see what comes up with. But I really hope USA makes a run. It'll be so much more fun around here
It'll
if
be
they
cool
do.
if I mean but the Bosnia game first and foremost, obviously. And then like that Belgium Senegal game, like the winner of that, like if they get past the Bosnia game, that game is gonna be gigantic. Like,
Yeah.
it's just gonna be wild. And they'll be playing prime time East Coast, which is awesome. Like, it's gonna be like 7 o'clock your time, right? Like,
Right.
like not gonna be 2 in the afternoon. Like, like that game is gonna be prime time. It's gonna be awesome. So if they play Wednesday, they'll play again maybe like Sunday, Monday-ish, I guess. It would be cool if it was like Sunday night. I don't know. Like,
Right.
but yeah, it's gonna be fucking awesome.
Be interesting. Interesting. So yesterday, as I'm flying back to Detroit, I'm watching the Travelers Championship. Let's jump into a little PGA. Ends up rain delay.
Yes.
Okay, so they're the last like 5, 6 holes they have to play later. So they get into the playoff. Comes down to Scotty, Victor Hovland. Scotty's looking good. He's hot. Victor Hovland was actually struggling, but had 2 really good days that kept him in the mix. And then this morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time,
Yeah.
which probably you didn't get to see because you were probably still sleeping. And Victor Hovland wins, takes a par on the last hole. Scheffler bogeys. It's good to see Victor get a win. I don't know, the Norwegians there were loving it, man. They were partying hard. I wonder if they were in town. Does Norwegian even have a team? I don't even know. Norway, yeah, they're
They're
good.
in there.
So they're probably
They're
in
in the
there,
top.
and then so they're in there watching their boy and watching for the World Cup,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. But it was an interesting, it was cool because the course was obviously a little bit easier. Everyone's 21, 20, some under. So it was in Connecticut.
Okay. I thought it
So-
was in the East Coast somewhere. I could
Yeah.
have swore I saw something like that. Yeah, that's good shit.
Yeah,
I
pretty
like
cool.
a good
But
scoring course once in a while.
I love a good scoring course. I love that everyone was in the mix. Morikawa was at 20 under,
Yeah.
which I was hoping to see him get into the mix there a little bit. But yeah, absolutely pretty cool. But the biggest story that's coming out of golf right now is Phil Mickelson. Are you following this?
Well, yeah. I mean, I saw that he got kicked out of his club. They kind of like didn't say what was going on the day that it happened. And I think we all knew what happened.
Right.
Or, I mean, like, there's only really one way to get kicked out of your club, and it's sexual harassment. I mean, that's
It's not
probably
gambling.
No, it's probably literally the only way that you're going to get kicked out of a club.
Right.
You're
For sure.
club.
Well, here's
As
the
in-
thing. Here's the thing about it is it's not that not only did he get kicked out of the club, he got kicked out mid-round.
Yes.
He was out
So it had
playing.
to be a cart girl, right?
There was somebody in the clubhouse.
Okay.
So they reported it. He obviously was then on the course, but now
got
what this is doing is it's now bringing up more stories. We talked about this. I think we talked about it last week, I think we talked about it on Couch Critics with the Beasley thing, or something gets brought up and now everything is a thing.
Yeah.
So this story was great. So apparently, while Phil is out doing his thing, he's paying the cart boys or people in the club to carry around his phone on the golf course so that his wife thinks he's playing golf. What a scumbag move.
Oh my god.
So he's paying these like bag boys $500 to drive his phone around the course so it makes it look like he's playing golf,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Then the other story that comes out is his friend, lifelong friend apparently, Fred Perez. They've been friends forever. So apparently they're at dinner back in like 2016, 2017 apparently. And this is why these two don't talk anymore. Apparently Fred goes to the bathroom and then Phil proceeds to show naked photos of himself to his wife at dinner. Like, dude. Now it's funny because I hear everybody talking about these stories and they're like, if you're in our age, you're two golf icons, Phil and Tiger, and now this is what you're dealing with.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I don't
mean,
know.
does he get invited back to the Masters next year?
No, he wasn't at the Masters last year. I don't think he was there this year. I think there was a reason. There was something. He wasn't. I don't think he played in the
Yeah.
Masters. There was an issue there too. I
There
don't
was
think he
something
played.
going on.
Yeah, but I think he's in. I think there more stuff's going to come out, and apparently there's a couple other clubs that he's not allowed at too. So there a lot of people
But
are starting to speak up.
will he play in another major again?
No, I think he's done.
Done?
Yeah, I think he's done. If this comes out, there's more stuff comes out. He's gonna kind of fall back in the weeds. I don't see him playing again. I don't see it.
Interesting.
Yeah, wild story though, man. This boy
Yeah.
Pat was not too happy with him. And the other thing I want to talk about, obviously, we talked about this before when it came up, and obviously it's a big story here in Detroit. And then we caught it on the news when we were together that Terrion Arnold was being. He turned himself in because of the allegations. He's in a full bulletproof suit being arraigned, which was crazy to me. Did you by chance catch that?
Yeah, they do that a lot. That's because when you're arraigned, the victims can be in the courtroom as well.
Okay, so is it a high publicity because of a high publicity situation?
Well, getting shot from somebody walking out and stuff like that. Now, you can't bring guns into the courthouse, but like walking in and out of that where they hold him and stuff, that's why they put the bulletproof on because, but it was pretty wild, man. Like also like there's going to be gang members after him if he flips, because I think it was gang related or apparently
Okay,
rolling with the wrong people ish,
for sure.
So, I mean, he's flipping 100%. Like, he's not going to prison.
Okay, you're saying he's or as you said in Chauncey's case, he's gonna be singing like a bird.
Yes. Yeah. He might be at camp this year still.
You think? Okay, that was gonna be my next question. You think
Well,
he's
I don't
going
know
to
if he'll
play
be at
for the
camp
Detroit
because
Lions?
that starts like this week, right? But
Let me
now
just say this: you think he's going to play for the Detroit Lions this year?
I do.
I don't. There's no way.
I don't know what he'll definitely get a suspension. The thing is, like with the appeals and stuff like that, I don't know if they allow you to play before your appeal. Like they did
Well,
that
it's
with
like innocent until proven guilty, and that's the way the
of
NFL rolls
course.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have to find out what like his bail situation is, stuff like that. Now,
That my understanding is that's going on this morning
yeah.
because on Friday it was no bond.
Yeah, they were holding him against no bond. They're trying to fight that. If he is out on bond, I mean, he could possibly still go to work. Like I don't know. The Lions, did they put a statement out?
No, nobody's real. As far as that I've seen, no, they have
Yeah.
not said anything. And I'm going to assume that after today, they're going to put something out. You know what I mean? And then it comes into the fact of like, look, his performance on the field has been mediocre at best. He's coming off an injury. Like, I think this could be the straw that broke the camel's back for the Detroit Lions. That's just my thought. Like, hey, man, this is our out to get out of this contract with him. And maybe we just part ways. If he was a stud and living up to the expectations, I hate to say it, but it might just be like, hey, man, we'll see you at work tomorrow. But there's other layers to this with him on the field that I think that they're not going to mess with. They're going to want the money back.
Yeah, I mean, I think he plays in the NFL.
Yeah, I could get down with that. I could get down with him playing again. I just don't see him in a Detroit Lions uniform.
And that's my first reaction probably, but like once we get through like another like the bail hearing, the bond bail hearing, whatever. And then you're going to start to hear like little whispers along the way if there's a plea coming on and stuff like that, because now I would love to hear a soundbite from his lawyer because you can kind of tell how they're going to play things when the lawyer speaks. Some lawyers come out and say, this is bullshit straight up.
Right.
And some say, we just want him to have, a chance at a fair blah, blah, blah. That means there's probably going to be a deal coming and the lawyer believes he did it. So like, because when a lawyer truly believes that they're going to win a case, they come out and say, my client's innocent, blah, 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 this and that.
Right.
And I always feel like when they don't truly feel that way, like they can't win in a trial, but they can probably get a decent deal. Then they give them the old, they give the soundbite is always something of the fact of like, we just want we want a fair trial and he deserves, his constitution, with the Constitution, he deserves a fair trial, blah, blah, blah. If they don't talk about like actually going to trial, like he deserves a trial in front of his peers, like that's when they like feel like they have like leverage in a trial.
Right.
When they just start talking about, we're going to let this play out and we didn't get discovery yet and blah, blah, blah. Bro, you probably got discovery already, kind of. Secondly,
Something was
like,
leaked.
yeah, you know what happened. Like, cause you
Right.
talked to the guy. So like, so I don't know. I mean, we don't really know, but like serious fucking charge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the kidnapping, like, I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, when we first talked about this months ago, I don't recall any kidnapping situation.
So now all this stuff comes out later. They could tack charges on that. That's one of the ways prosecution works too, is to try to tack on extra charges. Listen, if I shut the door and don't let you leave my house, that's a kidnapping charge. Now, like we don't know. Did he really go through with abducting somebody and stuff like that?
Right.
Like, I don't know if he's going to be like a conspirator or like an actual perp. Like, I mean, I'm not condoning any of it. I just mean we still don't know where he stands in the whole trial because he's not the only one that
Right. Well, and the understanding is like when we talked about this too, like he knew of the situation. He wasn't particularly participate in the act of, but to your point, the prosecution is throwing all these charges at him and then just to see which ones stick.
Yeah, of course. And then like the more charges, the more chance that, like he's going to want to plea out.
Right. So, I mean, so you're saying that like, if, for example, like somebody was to tell somebody, no, they couldn't go somewhere on their own, could you possibly get in trouble? Like, for example, the situation that you're in right now, like you have two girls that want to go to the coffee shop by themselves. You're telling them no.
No, because technically right now I'm in control.
Are you though, Fred? Let's talk at the end of the week and see.
Well, in a court of law, I would.
Okay. But not in that condo.
No.
By week 2.
No.
Fair enough. Understandable. But yeah, we'll see. I'm very curious how today plays out to see if he's gonna have to be. I'm sure he'll be some sort of bond. He'll be out today, but it'll be interesting. And I'm going to keep an eye on what his attorney says because that's a good point. That's a really good point. I have a question at the end. I want to ask you something for fun, but we can't leave this without obviously talking about what happened in Fenway this year. I know that in the group text, Nolan's firing it out. He said, he says that Boston owns New York, Fred. That's what he's saying right now. You didn't have a very good performance these last 4 days. Put up a little bit of a fight last week. I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to let you say it to the people. Are you concerned, Fred?
No, not at all.
Not worried.
Listen, if this series happened in October, I would be really pissed off, but it didn't. It happened in June. Was it a bad series for the Yankees? Yeah. Getting swept by anyone is a bad series. 4 games, right? Getting swept by a team in last place, I think, is a little worse. Now, I'm not making excuses because I know that Boston has some players on the IL, but we have the MVP on the IL as well. So Yanks get back their center fielder tonight. And the only other pieces we're really waiting for are Stanton and Judge. Now, they're kind of big pieces, I think.
Right. I think the rest of the baseball fandom would agree with you.
And Max Fried, who is literally our one, right? I mean, now that Cole's back, is Max Fried still the one? Is Cam Schlittler the one? I don't know. But Max Fried is coming in, is your number one, right?
Well,
So,
let's just say this. That's a good position to be in, to have three people battling to
yeah,
be what the number
yeah,
one spot is, right? That's
yeah.
not the case here in
So,
Detroit. We have a clear number one and a very distant second.
well, not, yeah. Like Framber's your two. Like, and Mize is a three. Like, like you have a little structure there. And yeah, I mean, it's good. It's a great problem to have. But like Grisham, and when it's Bellinger, Grisham, Judge in the outfield, it's a different game. And then Stanton is your DH. But like, no, I'm not concerned. I mean, it's their World Series. Like, like it's everyone's World Series to beat the Yankees. It doesn't matter when it happens. Like I said, if this series happened in October, we're having a different conversation. And I'm really fucking pissed off, right? But it
So,
happened in June. What?
no, I was just going to say the text message that we both got this morning with the Statue of Liberty wearing a Red Sox
Okay.
jersey
So like,
was hilarious, to be
well,
honest with you, with with the broom in her hand. Lady Liberty with a broom.
yeah, but it's obsession. So like my question at the end of all of this talk I do have a question too. But like I've always said this, and Nolan knows this too. I think Boston is the second best team in the American League. I don't know why their record is what their record is. I don't really, like it. They lost a ton of close games, stuff like that. They should be more at 500. But yeah, I think they're a really good team, to be honest. There's a lot of, I think they have 8 ex-Yankees on their team. Not surprising. Like, like scraps. So, but like I'm not concerned at all. My question is this: what fan base is the most obsessed with the Yankees? Is it Detroit? Is it the Red Sox? Is it the Mets? I think those would be my top 3. Toronto, but like, because listen, and hear me out. Hear me out.
All right, you go ahead, and then I'll.
They go to Cincinnati and get swept. You don't even hear about it, right?
Boston.
No, the Yankees.
Okay.
Like Cincinnati's not obsessed with the Yankees. Boston is obsessed with the Yankees. The Mets are obsessed with the Yankees. Those two franchises, I would put 1 and 1 in. After that, I would go like Detroit, Toronto, like in that order, kind of like obsession. I'm talking about like posting meme. Like Cincinnati Reds would not post a meme if they swept the Yankees because they're not obsessed with the Yankees. This is bigger than, it's bigger for Boston than it is the Yankees, obviously. Like, like it just is. I just want to know. My question would be this: what sports franchise is most obsessed with the Yankees? Is it Boston? Is it the Mets? Is it the Tigers? Is it the Blue Jays? I don't know.
I'll tell you this, and I can only speak for the people in Detroit. I feel the only reason you are even bringing or putting Detroit in the conversation is because you steadily for 8 years wore a Yankee hat in Michigan. Outside of that, nobody gives a shit about the Yankees in Detroit. Nobody's obsessed with the Yankees in Detroit. Nobody is following the schedule. I'm telling you, I'm here. I'm here right now. Now, again, you were a walking target. You were a walking target walking around Michigan with a Yankees hat on. So, of course, people are going to say something to you.
What team do Detroit Tiger fans want to beat the most?
I don't think there's any. I think it's more in our division than anything. I would say that it's.
You think that Detroit Tiger fans would rather sweep the Royals than the Yankees?
No, they would rather sweep the Guardians or the Twins rather than the Yankees.
The White Sox.
Or the White Sox.
So this series here, that starts tonight. They sweep the Yankees, and you don't think there's going to be memes and shit?
Well, I think no matter if we sweep anybody. You're saying I don't think that people in Detroit give that much.
I think a lot of people do. The sports podcast, I mean, admittedly said, I loathe everything about the Yankees.
He did. I think it was Jason.
My father-in-law has told me I cannot stand the Yankees. And I never understood why, but I get the jealousy. Like,
was it prior to you? But he always hated the Yankees?
No, he said he always growing up. I mean, back in the day when divisions were smaller and stuff, it was a lot different. People of that age, right? So, but like, yeah, I mean, obsessed. It's crazy.
Now, I can say wholeheartedly that nobody here is obsessed with the Yankees. So you
And
can
this is
take
what
us out. You can put
another
us maybe in the top 5, top 7 in your list.
But
But
like you said, I was a walking target. My thing is, if you're walking around in New Jersey, New York with a Detroit hat, nobody blinks an eye. That's my point. So like you're even saying I was a walking target. Why? Because of the hat? You're obsessed. So that
no,
answered my question basically. If you're saying that I'm a walking target just by wearing the hat, then you're obsessed with it.
no, that's crazy. And you're telling me that nobody would say anything to me if I'm walking around with Tiger's hat and jersey?
Not one person. They would probably think it was a high school like Del Barton or something. Yeah,
You're
I'm
so
serious.
full of shit. You
No,
know you're not.
I'm dead serious. I think people would be like, "Is that a Tigers hat or is that like Del Barton High School?" Like, like why do you have it on kind of? I had a kid on my softball team who loved Miggy and had the Detroit hat, and I loved it. This is before I moved out there. He was a big Miggy guy, and he would sometimes come. He's a Yankee fan, but like sometimes he would come to our softball games with the Detroit hat, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude, the D!" Like, and this is before I moved to Michigan. Like, like I've never I don't really hate any franchises. Boston, I could do without, right? And that's the whole entire city. Like I don't really care about Boston at all. The Patriots, Bruins, Celtics, like, like
Well,
Red Sox. I don't care.
here's the thing.
They
We'll
hate
clip
us,
this.
we hate them.
We'll clip this out. But I'm right here. I'm asking you guys that are follow this podcast, are Detroit Tigers fans obsessed with the Yankees? I want to know. I want you to drop your comments and let you know, is Fred on point here or am I on point? Who's more accurate? Somebody who lives here or somebody who visited for 8 years and stayed too long?
And I would add to that and say, what team would you like to beat the most? What is the team like the Yankees, Matt, and the Yankees and Sox, greatest rivalry in sports? Like, obviously, we want to beat those teams. What is the team that Detroit Tiger fans circle on the calendar and say, we want to win this? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like those,
Yeah.
like
No.
when you get your schedule for the Lions, you circle the Packer game, the Bear game, maybe the
100%.
Vikings, maybe.
No,
Like,
I
like
wouldn't. I wouldn't even. They're not even on my radar, to be
that's
honest
what
with
I
you.
mean. But like, what are the teams that Detroit Tiger fans really want to win? Like
That's
the
a great
most.
question. That's a
If
great
you're
question
not
because,
obsessed with it, that's fine. But what are the teams that you really want to beat the
like,
most?
tell
Like,
us.
what would be your order in teams you beat in the playoffs? Let's say, like
Okay, I'm gonna.
ALCS. Who do you want to beat in the ALC?
Okay. All right. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to throw it out on social media too. I'm hopefully that we clip it out. But yeah, absolutely. I'm curious because I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I don't know. Again, I'm not diehard either. So, and I'm not obsessed with the Yankees. I could care less. Like I tune in to see what they're doing, obviously because of the podcast, but I'm not obsessed with the Yankees by any stretch. I did hear a cool story about your boy Jazz though this morning. Did you catch the interview he did with, I think it was Kimmel or maybe it was Fallon about meeting Jordan for the first time?
Yeah.
I thought that was
Dude,
pretty funny.
Jazz is super cool, bro.
I look, and I think, I don't know what happened while we were, I know what it was. When we were watching the game together, we were talking about this, is the blow pop situation.
Yeah.
And when I started, I was like, oh, that's funny. It's hilarious. It's funny. Like, it's cool. Like, I like his swagger. I love his vibe. I would love to have him on our team. I think he's like he's kind of like the heart of the team. So I don't understand the hate on that, but I guess I do understand it because people don't like things that are outside of the norm, especially when it comes to baseball.
Yeah.
Like you take the young kid we have in AAA right now, Max Clark, I do too. I can't wait till he's in a major league uniform for the Tigers. But
I mean, the fans are like all over him in spring training and stuff like that, already hating on this kid because of his chains and he's flashy. And it's like, dude, who gives a shit, bro? Let a guy have some swag.
Don't give me that much money and not expect me to let you know I got it. I'll tell you that much.
Come on. Ridiculous.
Yeah. So last but not least, Fred, I wanted to bring up an interesting question for you. So if you could attend any sport event in the entire world, any sporting event, anything, your choice, unlimited funds, where are you going? What are you doing?
I've been to a World Series game with the Yanks. So like I think for me personally, it would probably be a Steelers Super Bowl.
Okay.
I think. Now, if you're gonna talk about outside of the championship, like, like outside of like Stanley Cup, NBA Finals, like stuff like that, right? Super Bowl, World Series, regular season event, let's
Yeah.
say. I'm gonna say like probably like Inter Milan, AC Milan soccer. Like it's pretty wild. Like I think like I would love to see a European out in Europe. I would love to go to like
Right.
a crazy soccer game. Like like my buddy went out there for work and ended up at like getting to go to like an Arsenal game. And he was like,
Yeah.
dude, it's wild. Like,
Yeah.
like it fucking wild. So I would say like regular season type stuff. I would say I would love to see like a like top team battling it out for Serie A in Italy soccer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you too. I think mine would be something like that, something crazy, like an atmosphere like that. Obviously, Detroit Lions Super Bowl would be my number
Yeah.
one if that would be the case. But in mine, obviously, and I've said it before on here before, Sunday at the Masters. Sunday at the Masters would be an ultimate dream trip for me. Going is one thing, but Sunday at the Masters is different.
Like you said, you have unlimited. Like Sundays at the Masters, and you have a good spot.
Yeah. 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 You're like
Like
right on the 18th green, something
yeah,
crazy like that.
yeah.
But absolutely. But all right, that's our
I mean, have
show
you
for
been?
this. Oh,
Have
go
you
ahead.
been to Waste Management or no?
No, I haven't. I played the course.
Oh yeah,
I played the actual course, but I did not. I've never been to the event itself. That looks
yeah,
fun, but I would be more of it's more of a party scene, which is
yeah,
not my
yeah,
big of a scene, but more tradition as far as the golf world is concerned. And that's why it would be the Masters over Waste Management
yeah,
for sure, for sure.
yeah. No, no. I know it doesn't compare, but yeah, it is
Yeah,
pretty wild.
would be fun.
Yeah.
Would be
I mean,
fun,
it would have been
but
fun 20 years ago.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. But all right, that's our show for this week. Fred, you go enjoy the rest of your day. And we're going to be looking for a ton of content while you take on the Uncle of the Year for the next month while your niece and her friend spend time with you in San Diego. Document it well. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe, my friend. And don't let those girls wander the streets by themselves. Take care,
No
brother.
way. Take care.